Welcome back to the Who's at the Gate. Wow, I just got totally hung up because I got a frog in my throat. Welcome back to the Who's at the Gates podcast. I, of course, am your host, Casey Phoenix, and we have the lovely Diana with us. And yeah, we're about to start this off with a still on this one. And trust me, we still plan to play some scenes from the episode. We're fighting with Paramount in these YouTube streets, but I am standing firm, and I hope and I am kind of confident that we will be victorious. We'll see what happens with that. But regardless, the train has left the station and we're not stopping. So let's go ahead and get into this. Diana, do you have anything to say before we talk about this Nicole Ted scene?
While the channel is still up, please watch our latest episode, Cat versus Eva, a retrospective. And please give us your opinions.
Yep. Also, and as a backup, we do have Spotify as well, and those episodes have not been touched at all. So you can watch the episodes on our Spotify podcast. So just a heads up on that too. All right, let's go ahead and talk about Ted and Nicole. So this is my thing. I'm really, and again, I'm cool with Ted. No, I'm not saying he's my favorite character, but I'm cool with Ted. But what's really irritating me over the last, 2 weeks now, is that Ted is always asking people to intervene where he can't seem to get any leeway. And I believe in delegation, and I believe in not always doing things on your own. At the same time, I do feel it says a lot about his relationship with Shanice that he can't get through to her on multiple levels. He can't get through to her on a personal level, and he can't get through to her on a professional level, because this isn't personal, this is professional, where if it's something that's affecting her job because of the whole, Derek situation, you would think she would listen, but then Ted's like, okay, fine, I'll get the professional, because Nicole is technically a psychiatrist. And if someone's having a mental breakdown, she would be the one to go to. So Ted's like, okay, let me see if I can convince Nicole to talk to Shanice. And when he goes to her, she's kind of giving him the side eye, like, you want me to talk to your girlfriend? But then finally, Nicole's like, okay, stop with the puppy dog eyes, I'll talk to her. So here we are, Nicole getting ready to have a conversation with Shanice. Diana, what do you have?
You think she said yes because he knew how to put on a suit? He looks pretty nice in that suit. I don't know if that's her daydreaming again. My other question is she the only psychiatrist in this hospital? Like, are they broke? Is it a staffing issue? I know Trump did a lot of cuts in the medical service, like medical fields. I know people that are affected. Like, what is happening? That it has to be Nicole. I think it's even worse, to be honest. Like, I don't know how good therapy can be when you're so involved in it too. I mean, Nicole is affected to an extent too. I mean, like, this isn't Shrinking. Like, this is, I don't know. Have you seen Shrinking by any chance on Apple TV?
No, I haven't.
Okay, definitely recommend it. I know this is off topic to the show, but Apple TV, it's a show about therapists and basically getting involved in each other's lives and the lives of their patients. It gets messy. So, I'm actually really surprised that Nicole said yes, because this is something where, I mean, again, this is a soap opera, so I get it, but like, why would she put herself in that situation? Why would Ted put her in that situation?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Usually she'll recommend, if she feels it's kind of gray, she'll recommend another therapist or a psychiatrist, because she's done that before. I'm just like, and you do have a point. Maybe they do need to start hiring more staff or something, because yeah, she's the only psychiatrist at that hospital that I've seen. So right. Maybe, and if she gets the chief of staff position, which we'll discuss that a little bit later, maybe she'll get lucky. I don't know.
Right. How are there 2 plastic surgeons but only 1 psychiatrist? Actually, that makes more sense, right? People with money, they're trying to fund that. Yeah, I don't. It's just odd. I mean, just just like as an aside, in my personal life, like, I had a friend who was looking for a therapist, got a recommendation, and that therapist told her no because she already had a client that she knew. like she wouldn't give therapy essentially to two friends, right? Even if they were completely separate, she was like making that hard boundary. We don't have that hard boundary beyond the gates. Everybody's just Nicole might as well just write the patient notes just like out in the open and do a Google Doc and be, everyone can read each other's therapy sessions at this point. What are they doing?
Lord. All right, on to the next scene. This one we will play. This is Vanessa and Deanna having their little situation. So let's go ahead and jump into that, which should be around 17:10, I think. Because the first part of the show, there wasn't a whole lot, to be honest. Let's see. All right. Let's let this play out with Danielle and Joey, which we're not even going to go there. Let's just let it play out.
There's a lot of wiggle room between being a saint and a sinner.
Deanna? Sweetheart, how much of that did you hear?
Enough to know that you find me to be an embarrassment.
You're taking that out of context.
Believe it or not, Mom, I actually came to apologize. To say I'm sorry for flying off the handle last night, but now I see why I do. You never think there's any truth to anything that I'm saying. And now I hear you talking crap about me behind my back.
I would much rather converse face to face. I reached out every way I knew how. I called, I texted, I did everything I could to get through to you. Now you want to barge in here and stage a performance, but you ignored me then? No. I will not be your audience. Not here, not today. I will see you both later.
She's dating a walking RICO violation, yet I'm the problem. Babe, don't you have an appointment this afternoon?
An appointment? Oh, yeah, that appointment. I should go. Don't want to be late. Hang in.
Okay. I will say, I wanted to keep, you go ahead, Diana.
I mean, did Deanna lie? That's it. I mean, did she lie?
I mean, yeah, she is dating a walking RICO violation. I'll give her that. But Vanessa didn't lie either, and I like how Vanessa drew that boundary. And also, this may not seem like much in some people's eyes as they're watching this, but to me, because there's certain things I catch when I observe people, whether it be in shows or real life, I actually am proud of Vanessa for her drawing that hard line, because she's been desperate to have a relationship with Deanna. She's been desperate to have that communication. At the same time, she wants it to be healthy and not forced, like what was going on here, where Vanessa was like, look, because Deanna's saying, oh, you were talking about me. Vanessa's like, well, I would talk to you. I've called, I've texted, and done other things like trying to get her brother to get her to communicate with her. And she just wasn't open to it. So then it's like, okay, well, what do you want me to do? I have to vent to somebody. I can't have a conversation to you about you because clearly you're not talking. So you know what? We're not doing this right now. Because if you notice, she's been desperate to have a conversation with her daughter since all of this has been going on, where that night at the cotillion, that was a really good night. But before that, they weren't really talking at all. And then at the cotillion, they were talking, but then it turned into chaos again. And here we are. So I'm proud of Vanessa for being like, you know what? I'm drawing a boundary. Yes, I'm desperate for my daughter's love, but at the same time, I need to make sure there's lines in the sand and set things clearly in front of her. Because Deanna was wrong too on this one. Whereas like, oh, you're saying this, and it's not like, it's like you didn't come to me with this, like she tried to. But what do you have, Diana?
I disagree. Because Nicole just like Nicole's living some fantasy. This is or not Nicole. I mean, okay, both of them are, to be honest. I think Nicole's on my mind because of that text. Like again, F them kids. I need my wine. Like, look how fast she sent that text. I don't think she was ever going to be willing to hear out Deanna just because of how desperate she is to hold on to Joey. She wants everything without compromise, and that's just not possible, right? Even so far as to like push a relationship. And I think, like, I get it. She loves him. You know, I think it's just that she wants her cake. What is that phrase? She wants her cake and eat it too. Whatever. She just wants. Yeah, there we go. And it's just not possible. And it's just like she keeps on forcing the issue, and without any. I don't think she's really giving Deanna an inch here, because no matter what, she's gonna be like, oh, you don't know him. As long as you get to know him, he's so great. He loves me. And Deanna sees him for who he is, a criminal, someone who wouldn't be afraid to throw Vanessa under the bus when it comes to saving his own life.
Okay. I don't necessarily agree with that. I believe that there is room for compromise if there is a thoughtful conversation with Deanna. And I'm not saying she's wrong. And let me make that clear to our gators as well, who listen to this podcast. With some of these people who are looked at as antagonists sometimes, I'm not saying they are wrong for some of the things they say. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that there are more productive ways to have conversations sometimes. And that's the case here with Vanessa and Deanna. Yes, Deanna's saying what we all know. Joey is a criminal. It's like, okay, girl, we got that part. What next? Is it a thing of you're saying he's a criminal and you will have nothing to do with anybody who deals with him, including your mother? Or do you want to sit down and have a conversation to see how we can meet in the middle? I don't believe there's room for compromise when the other party isn't even willing to talk about compromise. Because from Vanessa's end, yeah, she wants peace. And she's like, I don't want you guys like going at each other's throats around me and all this other stuff. Fine. But also I believe Vanessa would be like, okay, cool. I understand you may not want to be around him that much. I respect that. But during certain times when you are around him, if you could just be respectful, that would be great. Maybe they could come to that type of compromise. Who knows? Maybe it's the Donnell situation where Deanna and Donnell have a conversation with Vanessa, be like, hey, we appreciate Joey being polite and stuff, but we don't really want any type of gifts or anything from him. That isn't necessary. And I'm sure if they said something like that, Vanessa would respect it.
I think he might have more grace because they are children, but Vanessa already tried that. And Joey was, for lack of a better word, an asshole. I mean, you know, he started a very tense conversation with Nicole and what's his face. He was antagonistic.
Oh, and with that situation.
You know, he started. I'm just saying, like, how many times are you going to have to plead with this man to be with anyone in your life, to be civil, to be on good terms? Like, homegirl is just delusional. It's just not going to work. That man is antagonistic, same way as that Deanna, you can argue that she's going to be antagonistic. It's just not going to work. So she can be delusional all she wants and be like, for this one moment, I want peace, but they're not going to give that to her. So I think regardless, she's just delusional on her request.
The Nicole and Carlton situation was a little bit different. I do feel that type of, I guess, antagonism, or however we want to label it as, Deanna has that type for Joey, but I don't believe Joey has that type for her. He had that type it was a twofer with Nicole and Carlton. Part of it was because he honestly felt, well, that they were stuck up. Doctors, yeah, but he just felt they were stuck up. The other part of that is that it was intentional. He wanted to tank that dinner. That was the other thing. It wasn't like, oh, I don't like them, and then it turned into tanking the dinner. No, it was both. He didn't like them because he felt they were stuck up, and he wanted to tank the dinner too. That was his goal. So it's a different type of energy. However, I just believe there could be some type of peace if people just sat down and talked it out. But
I think he'll give as good as he gets. So if Deanna makes slide comments, he's gonna make slide comments. I don't think he's gonna hold back, regardless of what you're almost like Vanessa. Like I feel like I have to hold your hand. I feel like I have to hold your hand and be like, he's not a good guy. Like I hope you know that. Like don't waste your time on him.
yeah, trust me, I have no illusions about Joey or any other criminals on this show.
Like, just because, like, he made her into Madame. Like, what are you trying to get out of this relationship? what empire are you trying to run?
Now, Diana, that was a little bit of spin right there because he didn't make her into a madame. Vanessa was the one that kept begging, make me part of your business, make me part of your business, make me part of your business. And Joy was like, God, but
yeah, what
like, okay, fine, you can do this.
What part of the business do you want?
Because that was
what's
the
your
only
angle
one
here?
That's the only one he trusted her with. So yeah,
maybe you could be his chief of staff, and you could do something about Randy. I think that's where you would be very effectual there.
Well, there once upon a time where I did do business with people of a certain caliber.
Yeah,
or lack thereof.
I think you'll be the one to show him, hey, this isn't working out. You need a better lookout, man.
Trust me, I'd clean house if I was the chief of staff for Joey. All right, let's go to the next next scene. Okay, yeah, definitely want to discuss this one because this was a hot mess. Why is this moving so slow? My gosh, my computer's doing the most. Let's see. Hold on. Should be around here. Bring it up just a little bit more. Okay, there we go. Just let it play out.
Enough, Andre.
Enough what?
Enough punishing yourself. Enough reliving the story, thinking that the ending is going to change. It won't.
You don't get it. If I hadn't...
Hadn't what? Hadn't existed? Hadn't cared? Hadn't been human? That is guilt talking. That is not common sense. We all know that the issues between Ashley and Derek were not all about you. The only people responsible for a relationship imploding are those two people inside, nobody else.
Maybe?
No maybes. It has taken me a long time to realize that for myself.
Yeah.
When my marriage to Bill fell apart, I blamed Haley for every little issue. But she wouldn't have been able to ooze her way into the cracks of our marriage if those cracks weren't already there.
So you're saying that I was the Haley in Derek and Ashley's relationship?
Don't compare yourself to that viper.
I got in the middle of something that I shouldn't have, Dani.
Ashley wasn't married, and you sure as heck weren't best friends with Derek's daughter. What you had with Ashley wasn't deceit, it was unfinished. Look, there is nothing that you could or could not have done to change the trajectory of Derek's life. His death was a senseless tragedy. There is no doubt about that. But even if he and Ashley had made a go of it, there is no guarantee that things would have turned out any different.
Yeah.
Even if they threatened you,
Okay. This wasn't the scene I wanted. I thought she said it in this scene. It's the one after that then, but we'll just use this one. When they were still talking about the whole Derek situation, Andre had brought up Ashley and was like how Ashley might be alone or whatever he was saying. And then I'm usually team Dani, but this particular moment, I was like, Dani, you need to stand down on this one. Dani broke a cardinal rule. Never let someone you love comfort their ex during a tragedy. And when Dani said, you can go ahead and comfort her and stuff, just like, hey, you can go ahead and comfort her. You can go over there and see how she's doing and everything else. I'm like, Dani, you don't do that. Now, what made me love Andre even more as her husband is that Andre said, how about you come with me? And Dani said, like, yeah, of course. Which Andre did the right thing. That was definitely the right thing to do. But one thing, and this is me speaking as a man, as somebody who has dealt with men for many, many years, I don't put anything past the man at all. I don't put anything past the man. So you don't send your man over to comfort someone where there was unrequited love because they, like you said, Diana, they had a moment in Paris for a brief 2 seconds. And then after that, it never really came together because Ashley decided to stay with Derek because Derek was faking his paralysis at the time. And Ashley would have felt guilty should she have pursued someone else or something else with Andre. And then, you know, like that whole thing fell apart once it came to light that he was faking his paralysis. Then she runs to Andre after he gets married to Dani and is like, oh, you want to give it a go? Andre's like, no, can't do it now. You can't put that type of energy. You can't put him back into that type of energy by himself while a girl is grieving or while a woman is, she's a woman, while a woman is grieving. That's crazy. You got it, Diana.
I feel like I should have been taking notes. I'm like, wait, what's rule number 1? Just a side note, it wasn't that she stayed with Derek necessarily because of his paralysis. She ran to Derek though because, you know, she was playing this back and forth of like, do I want something safe or do I want Paris? And I think when she was going to tell Andre, like, okay, I think we should do this, like, I want to be serious, she found Dani and Andre like hugging. Like he was saying, it was funny, he was saying goodbye to her or something like that. And Ashley like thought he was getting back together with her or like sleeping around with her. And then that's when she ran into Derek's arms and then all this stuff happened. But anyways, sorry, I think that's when I was like, can we just like leave her? Because
of the paralysis.
I think he told her the truth or something like that. And she was like, oh, and I think she was getting ready to break up with him. And then the paralysis happened. So yeah, it was worse. That's all. I wanted to bring it up because I'm like, no, it's actually worse. It was like, you're giving her so much grace. And I can't have that. Yeah, I think I'm so happy that he has Dani, and I think they balance each other really well because they show up for each other like when they really need it. Because I feel like he's there for her time of need, you know, when she has a self-doubt in her career and she doesn't know if she can do something, he's always there to like cheer her on. And in this moment, she's there to like ground him in this tragic time for Ashley. I mean, to be honest, I don't know what got him so upset. It's not like he really liked Derek. I mean, I get it, you know, death brings out a lot of emotions in people, but I don't understand this whole sense of guilt situation. So it was just kind of odd to me. I think it felt like a scene to create drama, not necessarily a scene that made sense. You know, just to get him into Ashley's arms. But thank God, like you said, thank God he showed up with Dani.
Yeah, I'm glad that he made that offer for Dani to come. It's just crazy. I don't know, with all this guilt, it's kind of like if I wasn't dealing with you when you were alive, I'm not really dealing with you when you dead. That's just me. It's very hard for me to be on stuff.
Yeah, not to say that he's not, like, again, sad. I think everyone's sad for Derek, but It was just
That's
a
what I'm
lot.
saying. I wouldn't even be that. That's what I'm saying. Like I wouldn't. It would just be another day to me. That's how I am. Like, girl, I'm a true Cancer through and through. If we don't deal with something, we don't deal with it. We don't care what it is. So yeah, hold on. Oh, here's the okay. So let's go to this next one. 23 even. Let's see. All right. Let's go ahead.
I am not trying to run game on Nicole. I gave up on trying to put our marriage back together a long time ago.
Regardless, asking us to trust your judgment when it comes to Nicole, that's a hard sell.
I understand, but
Then how do you expect us to believe this has nothing to do with your guilt?
because you'd be overlooking how much I care about the staff, this community. The people are hurting. What Garland needs right now is stability. They need a face they can trust, a voice who can calm the storm. Nicole is all of that.
Well, I still think Dr. McCormick is the safer bet. But if you feel this strongly about throwing Nicole's name into consideration, don't you think you should discuss it with her first?
Anita's right. You know how our daughter feels about surprises, especially coming from you.
You can't be surprised I have doubts.
When I tell you Anita and Vernon do those low-key reads where it's like they say it to you, but it's so polite.
Right.
It's like it's polite, but it's direct. And he's like, you know how a daughter feels about surprises, especially when they come from you. And I'm just like, well, damn.
I mean,
Yeah,
he doesn't have a good track record.
well, I think there is a percentage of this that is trying to get back in Nicole's good graces, but I also believe that Ted genuinely feels Nicole is the right person for the job. Monica is great because, I mean, first of all, the Shanice's aunt, which will be an interesting dynamic with her working there. Second of all, Anita, definitely she was there for Anita during the whole chemo and everything else, and is still there for Anita in regards to the after, now that the chemotherapy is finished. I'm still team Shanice. I don't know if it's weird that they didn't think about her, but I guess maybe because they just felt a doctor would be more qualified. But I don't think Isley an actual doctor though. I don't even remember if she's an actual doctor. She knows medical procedures and stuff, but I don't know if she's a doctor. So
who knows? Yeah, I wonder. I mean, I'm assuming you have to have some sort of like degree in like health administration in order to have this kind of role. But I don't see why. Yeah, like, or Shanice gets trained up in it or something like that, or right, like maybe it's just a situation where she has to go to school still for something like this. But yeah, I do love that they have Nicole's back no matter what. Like, I think it's such a good representation of who they are as parents, and I think it's very touching to see. Again, I don't know why Ted is just so scared to talk to the woman in his life. Like, just will ever forever just be his weakest point, I guess, one of many. But I'm just like, sir, just talk to her.
yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to that conversation. It may happen on Tuesday because, just so everyone knows, this is Friday's episode. We're recording it on a Sunday to be uploaded tomorrow. So yeah, I guess they'll have that conversation on Tuesday, and I'm curious how Nicole will react. If she's gonna be like, "Oh no," or will she be like, "You know what? I'll just think about it. Fine, I'll think about it." So we'll see if Ted works his charms on Nicole and gets her to do that. Okay, so we're about to make a huge jump, and one thing I've noticed is that we really have not talked about Ashley during this episode, but again, we kind of predicted this. There was a lot of Ashley and Grayson. We don't necessarily feel the need to talk about it but you can always watch the show if you want. So,
if you really want that riveting, if you want that riveting discussion, I'm sure other podcasts have it. Like,
yeah,
they probably are
well,
less. They're probably less biased than we are. They might have journalistic integrity. I don't know. Go watch Ashley somewhere else, please.
We have no filter over here, sadly. Okay, so 3520. Let's go to 3520 right quick. 3520. Okay, we will let this transition into, because Kat's talking to Moss, don't really care about that either, but we'll let this transition into the next scene and then we will discuss.
Thanks for making yourself scarce so I could talk to Deanna.
I could tell you needed that time. How'd it go?
Better than I expected, actually. We're both seeing things more clearly now.
Deanna.
What in the glow up is going on? Because this man does not look like Doug.
It's the hairline. I don't know. There's something about it.
Yeah, it's like if you go back and look at Doug and you look at this man, I don't know if he left this show and got well rested or what, where he was just like, I'm just going to chill until they have me back in a year, but I will be out getting some good sun, doing skin cleansers, shaving, whatever. Lots of facials here. This does not look like Doug.
To be fair, he had a very stressful job. He was a surgeon, right? Like in a top.
I thought it was surgery.
Yeah, he was a
I
surgeon.
thought it was plastic surgery. Based off of this.
I don't know if it was. He did his own anesthesia and surgery. Okay.
Which, yeah, I mean, he was a heart surgeon, but still, I think he moonlighted as a plastic surgeon and did that, because this does not look like Doug. I mean, I had to get the picture, his other pictures, and I was looking, and I'm like, okay, I'm looking closer. I'm like, okay, the eyes are the same color. Got that. Lips a little bit the same. But everything else is it's not quite coming together to show me that's the same person. You know what? I should have used that new, there's this, I think, website that does the facial recognition stuff where you can compare everything. I feel like it wouldn't be a match. I just don't. If I took old Doug and matched it with this one, I just don't feel like it would be a match.
Well, Deanna recognized him. Deanna wasn't even scared. That's what makes me think this isn't Doug. I mean, I have like 4 different theories at this point, and I don't know which one they're going to go with, because I think all of them make me mad except for one. So I don't know. I'll let you think. Like, what do you think? What do you think is happening here?
Until I saw this one. Now, okay. There's two theories for me. I'm still on the one originally we talked about, where there was some type of deal made where Marcel did not set him up, on Joey's orders.
Low battery.
Of course.
Low battery.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought I heard something. Okay.
No, that was me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, where Marcel didn't set him up on Joey's orders, and like there was some type of negotiation, and Marcel was paid a lot of money, and then he just went away. Now, him looking like this coming back, I could see that because he doesn't want to look like Doug. So this is the glowed up, updated version of him where, nobody would normally recognize him. My other theory is that this is a figment of Deanna's imagination, and this is going to be like the I don't know if you remember. Are you into comic book stuff, X-Men and things like that?
Depends. More DC than Marvel, but
Would be a DC person. Well,
I couldn't get through Thor 2, so come at me when they make a good movie.
But we'll take this discussion offline on that part. But there was this in the 90s X-Men, there was this thing where Professor Xavier, his mind short-circuited because he was trying to connect with Lalandra at that time. And when he short-circuited, it's like the bad version of him came out. And that's what I feel, where he would get into people's heads and stuff, because it wasn't real. He was in their minds the entire time as he was attacking the X-Men. I feel like this is one of those situations where this is the bad version of Doug in Deanna's head, because I feel like subconsciously she feels her father deserves vengeance because she knows in her heart something is wrong with what happened to him. And now this is that being manifested in her mind, where he's there to guide her through how to get revenge for him, but she's thinking she's working with him. It's almost like the other movie with Jennifer Lopez and Viola Davis, something in Eve. I forgot the name of it. Her name was Eve, and I forgot the other person's name, what Viola's character's name was in it, I think. But look it up sometime. It was a So yeah, but funny but serious. But yeah, I feel it's going to be one of those numbers. But please, Diana, what are we cooking with here?
I mean, talk about Marvel recycling plot lines, because I tweeted, this better not be a situation. I can't remember what exactly I said, but like, this better not be a situation where like he's like the Green Goblin, right? Like she put on a hair tie or something. It's like the Green Goblin mask, and he's like in her head like some evil entity.
Well, she puts on a costume.
Right? She's just like Doug. It's instead of the Green Goblin, it's just Doug being like, "Your mom's bad. Your mom's evil. Kill her." No, I mean, okay. One, I'm just like, is she dreaming? Right? Like, is she actually asleep? And this is who she imagines in her dream. Like her dad, younger, before he was like heavily drinking, heavily into gambling. I think another, yes, she dreaming. Is this just, she just seeing things, right? Is it just an apparition? Is it a ghost? What else? The one thing where I'm like, ooh, wouldn't it be so great is if he had a twin brother, if Doug had a twin brother that we didn't know about, and this is actually her uncle. That I would welcome. I don't even care how they try to twist it, but if this was actually like his twin brother, oh, I would love. Would not stop watching the show. Yeah, I will say, I think though overall, I just have doubts that this is actually Doug. I think this is going to be like the voice in her head telling her, next time it's like Vanessa's, I don't know, she's like, I sold $1 million house, like celebration or whatever. Deanna's gonna store him in there with like the Black Widow or something. Just ruin everything. I think it's what?
I was gonna say, something just went through my head as you were talking, and it was because, and I promise you guys, I know you're about to get mad because you're like, every time he brings up Eva, but no, I'm still on Deanna. Something makes me feel like there's gonna be a moment where Deanna breaks into Vanessa's office or goes into Vanessa's office and starts going through her files and finding evidence for the district attorney. And, to put turn state's evidence against her and Joey.
Maybe. I mean,
and then they get arrested.
She finds evidence of, what is it? Heartache? No, heartbreak. What's the business called? Heart attack. That's what it is. I'm like, I was like, it's what's the pun? Yeah, maybe she's the one that's gonna bring it down.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I do feel if this is somebody, if this is bad, I'll just call him Bad Doug because that's more than likely what I feel it would be. If this is Bad Doug, then I do feel she might start gathering evidence to put Joey away. And then if Joey finds out about that, Joey will have to make a decision. Will he have Deanna removed? Or what? I could see him like setting Deanna up to go into a mental institution, like planning certain things, doing certain things, setting it up to be like, okay, girl, you trying to get me? Well, I'm about to get you put away. I can't take you out because you're the daughter of the woman I love, but I can get you put in a mental institution. I can see that.
Light work. Yeah, that could be her future storyline. I think that's actually a pretty good guess. But see, technically she is seeing things, so I'm just like, well, maybe for her own good, this actually might be like if that's what happens.
You're saying technically she's seeing things, meaning.
Well, I'm just saying, like, this is like, if this is all in her head that she's seeing Doug, well, I'm just like, oh man, what argument does she have? You know, like, theoretically, I think they would say, like, okay, maybe, girl, you do belong here. Let's get you some help.
We're gonna know. We'll know as soon as she goes to Donnell and she's like, I have somebody that I want you to meet. And then she's like, close your eyes. And then she brings out Bad Doug. And then she's like, open your eyes. And then Donnell opens his eyes and he's looking and he's like, what am I looking for? And she's like, Donnell, he's right in front of you. Then it's like, who's in front of me? Dad. Dad's in front of you. Donnell's like, Deanna, there's no dad here. And Deanna's like, Dad is right here. Do you not love him? Can you not see him? Can you not feel him? He's right in front of you. Deanna, have you been drinking? What's wrong?
On behalf of Casey, Paramount, CBS, Tide, PNG, Procter, Febreze, you could take that. You could take that word for word and use it in your script. I'm giving you permission. Man, you know what's so funny is that you're like, now you bring him up and I'm like, he will be her downfall somehow. It's gonna be him because he's too naive. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Be your own people, honestly.
Definitely so. Let me stop sharing. All right. I think that was a pretty good episode, if I say so myself. Yeah. Diana, do you have anything before we close out? Or better yet, hold on. Let me go ahead and throw out one other thing too. Like everyone, definitely don't forget to throw some comments into the YouTube videos, on X and so on and so forth. Definitely don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. We love new subscribers. We appreciate everyone who has subscribed thus far. We appreciate everyone who's been watching the videos or listening to the podcast on Spotify. Just all the support that you're giving, the likes as well. Of course, we appreciate the likes. That makes a difference too. Just thank you very much, everyone. And like I said, we will continue fighting with Paramount. We're waiting to see what their next move is because they're being very strategic about what they're doing. And actually, Diana and I are about to have a conversation offline about that. And we'll sort of take it from there, but we are fighting the good fight. We will continue to bring you more episodes of Who's at the Gates because we love doing this. And we love the Gators who listen to us and give us feedback. We appreciate it. Diana, you have anything before we close out?
No, I mean, I have to get on going to, it's Sunday. We love refreshing our spaces. I'm going to go spray some Febreze and set myself up for the week.
Nice. Cut the check, Procter & Gamble. Cut the check. All right. Until next time, Gators.
Bye.